Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have another book haul for you guys. These are all books that I have been buying over the last 2 months. So I will start with this big stack right here, which are all books that I got used off of eBay or Depop or Mercari. Y'all know I am a used book hunter. I love searching for used books, and I found a ton recently. So the first book that I got is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I know virtually nothing about this series, and I don't know, for some reason it kind of intimidates me. I've always been like nervous to get into it, but I feel like people either love this or they hate it. I think it's a darker kind of romance, but maybe there's revenge in it. We've waited, we've been patient, and now every last one of her nightmares will come true. I don't know. One day I will get to this. The next book that I got is For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. I was surprised to find this used because I think that it just recently came out and I've really been wanting to read it, but adult hardcovers are so expensive. So I was excited to find it. So this is a thriller that follows a professor at this school. It says it's set at a prestigious private school, complete with interfering parents, overeager students, and one teacher who just wants to teach them all a lesson. Sounds interesting. I love this cover also. The next book that I got is my best friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. I've now read 2 Grady Hendrix books and really liked them, so I'm very excited to get into this. So this follows a group of high school students, and I think one of them is going to become possessed by a demon, and the others are gonna have to try to figure out how to exorcise the demon. So excited for this. Also, this cover is like the vibes that I'm trying to manifest this fall. I love like the vintage old school style of this. The next book is The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie. This is a, I think, mafia romance book, and I've been hearing a lot about this series recently. Specifically book 2 I think is the one that I've seen people like obsessing over, so I really want to start this series. So it looks like it's about a woman and this mafia boss who is arranged to marry her sister, but she becomes attracted to him. The next book that I got is Malice by Heather Walter. This is a sapphic Sleeping Beauty retelling, I believe, that is a romance between Sleeping Beauty and Maleficent. It says, a princess isn't supposed to fall for an evil sorceress, but in this darkly magical retelling of Sleeping Beauty, true love is more than a simple fairy tale. And I think that this is an adult book, I'm pretty sure, so I'm very excited for that. Y'all know I love sapphic romances. This is giving me like enemies to lovers, villain gets the girl. Very excited. The next book that I got is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. I love Becky Chambers, so I've really been wanting to read it. It looks like it is a sci-fi novella. I kind of don't want to know that much going into it since it is so short, but The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers is one of my favorite sci-fi books, so I am very excited to read this and discover what it is. So the next 2 books that I got I've already read, and they are 2 of my favorite romance books that I hadn't owned. So the first one is Nordic King by Karina Halley. This is a royalty romance about a king and a nanny that he hires to take care of his 2 daughters. And then the other one is Your Dad Will Do by Katie Roberts, which is getting revenge on my ex-boyfriend by sleeping with his dad. So I was super excited to find copies of both of these. The next book that I found is The Library of the Dead, and this is a fantasy book that it says it's The Sixth Sense meets Stranger Things. In this fantasy following a precarious and cynical teen as she explores the shadowy, magical underside of modern Edinburgh. So the main character can speak to ghosts. That's how she makes a living. She carries messages from the dead to their living loved ones, until the dead start whispering that someone is bewitching children and leaving them as empty shells, and she starts to investigate what is going on. This is a book that I have not heard anybody talk about. I haven't seen any reviews for it, but it sounds so good, so I'm really excited to read this. The next book is Misadventures with a Professor by Sierra Simone. So this is a romance book. Oh my god, it's signed! Cool. Okay, so this is about a girl who is about to go to grad school, but she wants to lose her virginity before she goes. So she meets this guy, they have sex, and then it turns out that that guy is a professor who works with her father. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I love all of Sierra Simone's books. The next one is another romance that I've read and I loved. It's one of my favorites, and that is The Doctor by Nikki Sloan. This is another ex-boyfriend's dad romance, and I now get to complete my little trilogy. I have all 3 books in this series now, which is awesome. And then the last used book that I got is For the Wolf by Hannah Witten. This is a fantasy romance that's kind of like Beauty and the Beast vibes. It says the first daughter is for the throne, the second daughter is for the wolf. So the main character is like sacrificed to the wolf in the woods as part of like a curse or whatever, and it turns out that the wolf is actually a man, and I heard really great things about this. So this video is being sponsored by Ritual. Even with the perfect diet, it can be hard to get all of the key nutrients that we need on a daily basis, which is why I really love Ritual. I've worked with them before, and they help men and women of all ages fill in the gaps of their diet. Ritual is a multivitamin reimagining health from the ground up. They contain 9 high-quality nutrients from D3 to omega-3 that are difficult to get enough of every day, even with a healthy diet. They are vegan-friendly, non-GMO, gluten-free, allergen-free, and contain no added sugar. Transparency is at the core of everything Ritual does, from the way nutrients are sourced to the environmental impact of materials used to ship thousands of orders. Ritual has searched the globe for the best suppliers from around the world and is transparent about where they source their ingredients. They also offer a men's multivitamin, 50+ prenatal, postnatal, and teen vitamins. It is only $1 a day to have 9 high-quality nutrients delivered straight to your door. I really love taking Ritual's Essential for Women because they have a lot of transparency within their decision-making process behind every ingredient, and Ritual is offering you 10% off your first 3 months if you use the code Riley10. So once again, thank you to Ritual for sponsoring this video. So the next 3 books were all sent to me from Sourcebooks. So the first one is The Midnight Girls by Alicia Jasinka, and this is a sapphic YA fantasy. 2 wicked rivals secretly compete for the pure heart of a prince, only to discover they might be falling for each other. So these 2 enemies are trying to vie for the prince's heart, but then they end up falling in love with each other. Like, sign me up. So this one comes out in December. The next one that they sent me is The Grimrose Girls by Laura Pohl. This is like a dark academia YA thriller that has like fairy tale elements mixed into it. So it says Pretty Little Liars meets The Descendants in this series starter about 4 reimagined fairy tale heroines who must uncover connections to their ancient curses and forge their own paths before it's too late. It totally gives me like Once Upon a Time vibes, which I'm loving because I really loved that show. So very excited to read that one, and this comes out in November. And then the last book that they sent me is The Nature of Witches by Rachel Griffin. This book is about a bisexual witch who is an ever witch. And so in this world, witches have maintained the climate, so each witch has like an affinity for a different season. But Clara, the main character, has a magic that is tied to every season, and when the climate starts to become very erratic, she's the only person who could save everyone. And this book is stunning. Under the Dust Jacket, like, look at this. Look how beautiful that is. I'm so excited to read this. I had never heard of this book until they sent it to me, and then I was like, wow, this sounds like exactly my kind of book. I cannot wait to read it. So the rest of these are all of the new books that I've purchased. The first 2 are books that I've already read, and that is Twisted Love and Twisted Games by Ana Huang. These are the first 2 books in her Twisted series, which is like becoming one of my favorite romance series. So this one is Brother's Best Friend, Grumpy and Sunshine, and then this one is Princess and Her Bodyguard. And I gave both of these 5 stars. I loved them so much, and I'm very excited that I finally own physical copies. The next book that I got is The Lady at Rooks Manor by Catherine Moon. I bought this for a very specific reason that y'all aren't going to know about for a while, but basically this is a monster reverse harem. I've heard amazing things about this. I actually just saw that the sequel was announced like a couple days ago, and that one looks great as well. But I literally have been recommended this book like at least once a week. Somebody tells me that I need to read this. The next book that I got is A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. This is a sapphic dark academia about witches. I don't even know how excited I am for this book. Like, just the way that I've heard this described, it sounds like it was written for me. It sounds like my perfect book. I cannot wait for this. The next one is The Final Girls Support Group by Grady Hendrix. This I've also read. It follows a support group of final girls who were all the sole survivor of these horrific events, and now someone is hunting them down one by one. This was fantastic, and I have a whole reading vlog of me reading this and all of my thoughts on it. The next two are books that I just read and posted a whole vlog about, and that is Project Hail Mary and Raybearer. I read both of these for my reading vlog where I read your favorite books of the year so far, and these were the two winners. So I will link that video if you want to go watch it and hear all my thoughts, but I gave both of these books 5 stars. So Project Hail Mary is a sci-fi about the lone astronaut on a spaceship where he wakes up and has no memories and can't remember who he is or why he's on this spaceship. It's just so fantastic the way that the story unravels. And then Raybearer follows this girl who was raised in isolation by her very mysterious mother. And then when she's 10 years old, her mother compels her with a command to infiltrate the Prince's Council of 11 and kill him. And then the last book that I got this today. I'm super excited to read it. So basically this follows a main character who was a very popular character on a TV show that gets killed off. And then, to put the cherry on top, she finds her boyfriend in bed with another woman. So she needs a break, she needs a little vacation, so she finds herself at this little inn, and there she meets the owner's son, who is an ex-hockey player. And I am so excited to read this. I've heard really great things, and also if you have KU, the ebook and audiobook are available on KU, which is awesome. And the paperback's like super cheap. So those were all of the books that I have purchased recently. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Oh my god, it's so hot in here. I had to turn the fan off. Is it highlight or is it sweat?